Today on Dr. Phil. It's Ask Dr. Phil Day. She loves to flirt.
I'm very friendly.
Flirt with me.
How are you doing today?
Smooth as a baby's nut. Her husband is so jealous she can't even go to the bathroom.
I just don't trust other people.
Guys aren't supposed to pout. See, we're supposed to pout in a way that we can deny it later. Let me see the hair tossing. You actually work that into conversation.
What can I do specifically to...
Stop doing that. Coming up. Let's do it. I want you to get excited about your life. If you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to be honest. This is going to be a changing day in your life. It's Ask Dr. Phil Day, and I'm going to answer your burning questions. You can ask anything and everything. I'm here for you. All right, meet Heather. She loves to flirt, but women seem to hate her for it.
Hi, my name's Heather. Growing up in Baltimore, I was very shy. When it came to boys, I didn't develop the verbal skills to flirt. So I started using body language. It's worked for me as an adult with men, but I noticed that women sometimes, they judge me on first appearance and first impression. Dr. Phil, my question to you is, I wanted to know if there was a certain way to make women feel more comfortable around me so that they wouldn't judge me based on appearance.
Well, I'm a little... I'm a little confused, actually. What is the problem?
Women tend to I've just noticed that women tend to judge me before they've got a chance to talk to me. I'm very friendly. I love to talk to people. I was very shy as a child, so
I think
I'm
that's
very
the problem.
outgoing.
They think you're very friendly.
But even towards women, I'm friendly if they give me a chance to talk to them and I like to get to know them as much as I would like them to get to know me.
Yeah. Do you believe that people make a statement when they present themselves to the world?
Absolutely.
I mean, with the way they dress, the way they wear their hair, all that. You make a statement, don't you make a statement to the world?
Yes.
Like, you know, I've got a statement here. I'm wearing a suit like I've got some credibility. And you do what you can. What did I tell you? And so I'm making that statement, and you're making a statement with the way you dress and do things. But don't you know, I mean, you're not confused about what they're reacting to, are you?
No, I completely understand.
Because you do flirt with men.
I'm very friendly. I'm a touchy-feely person. You know, I was a waitress for a long time, so I know when you touch them, they tend to give you a better tip. It makes it a...
Right.
It works. It gives you... it makes it more personal, and I like getting to know people.
You know what flirting is.
Yes.
Okay, flirt with me now. Okay? We just met in a club or somewhere, and you know what the feminine wiles are, so just flirt with me right now like we just met.
How are you doing today?
I'm just smooth as a baby's nut. No, come on, come on.
It has to come naturally, but you know,
you
do the smiling and eye contact and touching, and you know, you do the hair tossing.
Well, let me see the hair tossing here.
They have a lot of hairspray in my hair right at the moment. I don't think it'll toss.
Well, give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay, so you actually work that into casual conversation. It's like, well, do you think it'll rain today?
You do the tucking behind the ear talking sort of thing. Just little things.
Okay.
And sometimes I don't realize that I'm doing it But most of the time,
You're
no,
right.
I do. Most of the time, I do.
Because
Sometimes,
sometimes it's just unconscious.
sometimes it's like now, like I touch people's hands. It's not something, I'm not flirting, it's just something that I do. And I'm not aware of that. I'm aware when I flirt. Because as a child, I wasn't.
Sometimes it just naturally occurs.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I hate it when I just sort of forget and go. But I don't realize I'm doing it. It just slips out. Okay, we're talking to Heather, who loves to flirt. She says she didn't learn really good verbal skills when she was growing up. So, you said that, right?
Yeah, I was very shy.
She was very shy, and she has way overcome that. But it's just that sometimes she feels like women misread you, and they don't really get to know you. Okay? And, but the reason I said I'm confused about what the particular problem is because I think you send very clear messages, and I think the women read them with great precision. They just don't like them. Okay?
I don't flirt with other women's boyfriends or husbands.
Oh, I know that. And let me be real clear about that.
Yeah.
Let me be real clear about that for everybody at home. Nobody's ever accused her of flirting with her husband. She's never been any kind of controversy or scandal like that. You're just saying that...
I have a lot of male friends.
I'll
And
bet.
their girlfriends when they... I like to play sports.
Oh, bet you do. But now, I want you to translate for me. Can we see the tape that of the last segment at the end? Just look right here. Okay? Now, okay, all right, stop. Can we freeze that? Okay, now, as a wife, and I asked you to show me what you were doing when you were flirting. This crosses a barrier, wives. Agreed? Yes. Okay. I was at the Emmys? I was at the Emmys the other night, and some woman was doing just this. And my wife was getting ready to knock her out. And I know...
Absolutely, I would too.
And I know my wife. I know my wife, and so I was starting to say, lady, you need to back up off of me.
So you asked me to do that.
No, I know, I'm saying, I asked you to do that. But also, you have there's a certain perspective here. Now, all right.
Okay, so I got to pull the shirt up and the skirt down.
Shirt up, skirt down. Okay, but now, what message does that send to a guy?
Covered it.
So, I mean, but you know exactly what that message is intended to send, right?
If I was sending it to someone who was single, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is exactly what I intended to send.
Exactly.
And people do that all the time.
Oh, sure, of course. And there's no reason, if you're trying to seduce a young guy, a single guy, he doesn't have to be young. If you're... no, I'm married, I'm kidding. If you were trying to seduce somebody, this sends a message that you would put into words how? Put this into words.
Look down my shirt.
Okay.
I don't know, dude, that I was interested in them, that I was open to conversation with them and...
You're open to conversation with them and...
Whatever would come afterwards.
All right, can we go forward?
Getting to know them.
Yeah, they're certainly getting to know you. Can we go forward in the tape? Okay, we'll just take it right here. Put that in words for me.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. All right, roll the tape. Okay. Eye contact, just grinning ear to ear. So all of that says what?
That to me, whether it would be a male or a female, to me that would be, I'm energetic, I'm excited, get to know me, talk to me.
Right.
I'd like to talk to you, I'd like to get to know you.
Okay, and see, here's the thing, if I can speak for the women with husbands in the audience, what they say when they see that is that this is like a shotgun blast that may be aimed at some single guy, but Homer's standing here watching it too, okay? And so she's saying, ain't nothing good can come from him being around her. Okay, now that's not fair to you because you're not interested in Homer, right?
Right. And if they trust their spouse, there shouldn't be a problem.
And but they may not trust them. And so what you're saying is, why do people judge me and why do women judge me and get threatened by me before they even met me to find out that I'm really a very nice girl? And the truth is, you're actually pretty conservative, right? I mean, you're not.
Yes, I don't, yeah.
Yeah,
yes, no,
yeah, I understand. But they judge that differently, and that's the frustration you have, and you want to know why.
Well, I know why. I wanted to know what is it that I can do, because it is in my nature to be, now it is, to be friendly, to be talkative, to be open to talking to people, but I want to know what is it that I can do to make women at least be interested in getting to know me.
Okay, you have to be sensitive to the impact of your actions on other people, because you are single, and so you don't have a dog in the fight. They got a dog in the fight. They're here with their husband, and what they're saying is, nothing good can come of this. So you have to see it through their eyes, which you say, well, they need to trust their husbands. Well, they either do or they don't. But from their point of view, this is something that looks way too much fun to their husband. Okay? And they're saying, I got a downside here. Mm-hmm. I have a downside here. And so they don't know whether you're going to be selective with all that behavior. If they came and said, hey, come sit with us, and so you came and sat at their table, chances are pretty good that you're going to be the focus of attention. And they're saying, that's not good. So you've got to be sensitive to the impact of your actions on the wives, because they got a dog in the fight. They don't want their husband put up for grabs, whether that's your intention or not.
I act the same way towards my male friends, girlfriends, or wives. I act the same way to them. I try to, talk to them, touch them.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Because she's here with Homer, and that's all she cares about. She doesn't care who else you're flipping your hair at. What she cares about is Homer's watching this.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what can I do specifically to
stop doing that?
But it's in my nature. It's in my nature.
Well,
I don't normally dress like this. I normally dress a little bit more conservative.
I know that, but
and I've tried to be friendly and to draw more attention to the girls, to my male friends, girlfriends. I've tried to draw more attention to them and not really talk to my friends, so they would probably feel more comfortable and get to know them. But it doesn't work either.
So you're just saying just nobody likes you?
I just don't understand why they wouldn't want to get to know me.
Well, I'm telling you, but you're not wanting to hear it.
Okay.
I'm telling you that they'll only not want to get to know you if they consider you to be a threat. If they do not consider you to be a threat, then they will want to get to know you. If they consider you to be a threat, whether it's your fault or theirs, if they consider you to be a threat, what we do, we are threat aversive. We move away from threat and we move towards safety. So if people are moving away from you, they perceive you as a threat. Okay. And so what you have to do is define the relationship in a way that is non-threatening for them, and the only way to do that is to see it through their eyes to figure out what it is they're being threatened by, because they got a husband there and they don't want you messing with him. And you said, I've done nothing to suggest I would. They see that differently.
Okay.
They see that differently. True? Yeah. True? And it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, because you're very likable. You got a great sense of humor. You're very engaging. You're very talkative. You like to strike up a conversation. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You got all the things that you want in a friend. I mean, really, you got energy and you're bubbly and all that. There's not a thing in the world wrong with you if you just don't threaten the people you're wanting reception to. Okay?
Okay. All
right. Next, a husband who can't control his jealousy. Should he be following his wife to the bathroom? It's Ask Dr. Phil Day. It's Ask Dr. Phil Day, and that means anything goes. Meet Valerie and Danny. Valerie says Danny is so jealous she can't even go to the bathroom by herself.
I've been married to Danny for 6 years. Danny is distrustful of me around other men. In our marriage, this problem started at day one, but it hasn't changed.
I just don't trust other people.
I'm fed up with the issue coming up over and over and over again and causing tension. It's a waste of time.
You can say my biggest fear would be that she would cheat on me for someone who's more interesting.
Typically, Danny will come home from work and he will say, has anyone called? Did you talk to anybody today?
I just talked to Denise, I talked to Deb.
He'll watch my back when I'm online.
Anything is possible. You know, she can meet somebody on the computer.
I very rarely have girls' night out because Danny is so uncomfortable with it.
Well, it just aggravates me that she would go out. Know how men can be.
If we go to a restaurant, he will accompany me to the bathroom.
I feel that that's gentlemanlike.
It's really irritating. I've assured Danny numerous times, I will not cheat.
Sure, it aggravates her. It makes her feel very, I guess, stressed out.
I'm fed up with it. I'd like to resolve it once and for all. He should just trust me. We're married. I'd like to ask Dr. Phil how I can help Danny to become more comfortable and secure and trustful in our relationship.
In your opinion, are we talking here about jealousy, or are we talking here about control?
I guess it's control, and I'd also call it mistrust, because he has a
Okay.
hard time trusting not only me, but everyone.
Are you labeling normal behavior as bad on her part? Is she just doing normal things of interacting with others and being friendly and engaging and social, the things that people do when they're civilized? Are you labeling those things as bad behavior? Do they cross the line for you?
When you say cross the line, it's got to be defined a little bit more, but maybe yes. As
Well,
for
no, I'm
normal
happy
behavior,
to define it. I'm happy to define it. I'll define it as something that triggers you tightening the grip, triggers you controlling more, triggers you labeling the behavior as unacceptable and threatening, and therefore beginning to smother the very life from her.
You're right, correct.
What's your internal dialogue? What do you say to yourself when you see her, like, give me a time that was really kind of threatening for you, where she was kind of yucking it up with some old boy or something, and it just really kind of bothered. What are y'all laughing about? You know what yucking it up is, right? With some old boy. So we do in Texas. We yuck it up with some old boys. Then we go to house. Can you think of a time that she was doing that?
Specifically not.
Because she doesn't really actually do that much, does she?
No.
What do you do that triggers him?
Like you said, normal everyday behavior.
Like?
Initiating conversation. I could be on a supermarket line and I'll talk to anybody. It could be an older woman, an older man, a middle-aged, either sex. I talk to people.
And can you tell when it's bugging him?
Absolutely.
Is he like a
His
pointer?
demeanor changes.
Does he go on point?
It's a silent, unspoken thing. I don't get reprimanded. I get maybe a silent treatment, or the demeanor definitely changes. The guard goes up, and there's definitely that change.
See, this is bad. Guys aren't supposed to pout. At least where they catch us at it.
You're
See,
right.
we're supposed to pout in a way that we can deny it later.
Right.
And
I can't deny anything with her.
but now,
She knows me oh too well.
we do a lot of research on you guys. You probably know that by now because we've talked to you till you're just ready to drop. And I have like a whole notebook on you guys. And in there, we talked to you about a lot of things. Like we talked about you sending cards. Like you send cards, but you feel the cards aren't just a good sentiment. You think there's a manipulative message in them, right?
Cards are beautiful, but that thing is always thrown in where I can't stand. I hope you never cheat on me. I wouldn't be able to live with the fact if you ever cheated on me. Please always be faithful to me. It's just that recurrent theme, and that aggravates me.
Okay, and that's like, happy birthday.
Please don't cheat on me.
I hope you never cheat on me.
Exactly.
Get well soon, but when you do, don't cheat on me. I mean, so it's just kind of a theme that you weave into everything, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, well, one of the things you said also in all of the pre-interview is you said, I don't mean to do this. I don't mean to make her feel that way. And my theory is, yes, you do.
But why? Why do I?
Well, I'm going to tell you as soon as we come back from this break. All right? I'm going to tell you. Because I think if you'll label this you can turn it off, because I don't think he's meaning to be vicious with you at all. No, I don't think it's that way. Okay, it's Ask Dr. Phil Day, and we've been talking with Valerie, who has a question about Danny that Danny would just as soon not ever be answered. Valerie says Danny's jealous and that it's out of control, it's irrational, and it has the potential to wreck their marriage. I'm not sure that it's jealousy as much as controlling, but tell me why you're so freakish about this, why you're so focused on this one element. Because before you answer that, isn't the rest of y'all's marriage working really well?
Really well.
Don't you get along well?
Really well.
Okay, and you got a good division of labor. You don't have any big issues out there?
No other issues.
So other than when he's dogging on you,
Right.
about this, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Okay, so why are you so obsessed with this?
Obsessed is a very good word to describe it. Through my life, growing up, different organizations that I've belonged to, I've seen so many marriages destroyed over this one particular problem. And it's something that I've grown to despise. The question I've always asked myself, why do people cheat? Why does this happen? How could somebody destroy what they put so much commitment into? How could somebody else come in and cause so much brokenness and so much heartache in other people's marriages? It always bothered me.
But the key there was other people's marriages. You're dragging that into yours, right?
Right. Because I don't want it to happen to me.
Because you saw this a lot growing up, right? You've seen it in just everywhere you look. I mean, people do this kind of thing.
Right.
And you're concerned that it's going to penetrate this marriage.
Correct.
And you don't want it to.
That's correct.
All right. Well, let me ask you something. How dumb would you feel if, not today, how dumb would you feel if you spent 50 years being married to her and every day of that marriage you worried she was going to cheat on you?
She says that to me all the time.
And then in that 50th year, when both of you are dying in rocking chairs in a nursing home,
She says it
you
all the time.
realized she never did it.
Very
I
dumb.
spent my whole life worrying about this, and it never happened.
But then again, I think anything could happen. Anything could happen. I've
could.
seen it before. I've seen it in marriages where I thought were rock solid. I've seen it destroy and devour that person's marriage, and it always bothered me.
Okay, so it is a risk, correct? And there's always a risk. Let me ask you something. Do you think you can watch her enough to keep her from cheating on you if she wants to?
No, absolutely not.
Let me tell you, there ain't enough hours in the day, there's
That's
not
right,
enough
there's
minutes
not.
in the hour, there's not enough energy, there's not enough places that you can be, that you can keep her from doing it if she wants to. Now, doesn't that make you feel good? So the point is, why try to control something you can't? First off, you have no indication that she's predisposed in such a way. You can't stop her if she is. All you can do is react to it when she does.
Right.
If she does.
Right.
Which are you?
No.
Have you told him, look, if I decide I want to be with somebody else, I'll tell you?
I have even said that. Honestly, I
Yeah.
did say that.
Because, I mean, that's the way to do it. You just say, look, tell you what, make you a deal so you can relax.
I have said
If I
that.
ever
It
decide,
didn't relax him, though. I said it.
if I ever decide I'm going to be with somebody else, you'll be the first to know. I'll call you and say, you know, you're right, you have absolutely bored me to tears, and I'm going to go with the gigolo down at the 7-Eleven. If you knew she would tell you, would that help?
She said it
No.
before.
I've said it.
No, it wouldn't help, and you know why? Because you are giving her a test every day, and you are addicted to the payoff. You are addicted to the payoff. See, we test our partners. It's kind of like push, 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 and if they come back, they pass the test, and you go, and you get a fix. It's like heroin. Every time you get reassurance, every time you get a fix, it gives you just that little bit of peace for a short period of time, and you are addicted to it just like somebody to a drug. And you are the dealer, and you got to stop giving him the fix. You've got to stop letting him follow you, control you, and patting him on the hand all the time. Was that okay? Patting him on the hand all the time saying,
I'll talk to you after the show.
I saw his eyes go. But you've got to you've got to decide that you're not going to pay him off in that way anymore. Can I have the graphic I had made up after I studied their notebook? This is what you say. You say, I trust her, don't mean to be controlling. I let her go out. I mean, I do. I let her go out. All right. We're waiting for the marshal. You're not getting it. All right. I don't trust other men. It's not her I don't trust. You said, it's not that I don't trust you, it's other men. I know other men, right? That's what you said?
Correct.
Correct? You have to answer audibly so the court reporter can get this down. All right? Now, but that's what you say. Now can I have the other half of this? Here's the truth. These are also your words. I worry that she'll cheat on me. Now, you just said, I trust her. It's other men I don't trust. But then in the same interview, you said, I worry she'll get bored with me, think that there are other people more interesting, and she'll cheat on me. So which is it? You trust her, or you think she's going to cheat on you?
I trust her.
Well, it's column A or column B. You can't be in both. But those are your words. Second, don't mean to be controlling. You also say, I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. I let her go out. But then you admit, I make her feel guilty when she does. True?
True.
True. You say, I don't trust other men, but yet I watch her to see if she is looking at other people. Now I submit. This is total contradiction. Do you agree? You
agree.
See, you've got to have emotional integrity here and say, I admit I am scared that she's going to go do something. I'm not going to take the high ground and say, hey, I let you go out. It's other guys. I know what hound dogs guys can be, and I know they're going to be after you. You're attractive, you're young, you're energetic, you're going to draw attention. I know others are going to be after you. And so I'm worried about them, not you. That's not true. Do you understand he doesn't trust you? I just showed you right here. He's saying 4 different ways, it's you I don't trust. And you know why you don't trust her? Would you like to know why you don't trust her?
Yes.
Because you don't trust your ability to handle it if she's not perfect. And the only way you're ever going to get peace is if you come to the realization that, you know what? I cannot control her. I cannot stop her from doing that if she's going to want to do it. But I can trust myself enough to handle it when she does. Let's fast forward. She's had an affair. She came home and told you. I know I was supposed to tell you this before I did it, but I was busy. It just cropped up. It just cropped up. I was going to come by the house first. I didn't. And so I'm telling you now, I've had an affair. And so what's going to happen at that point? Do you think you will turn into a pumpkin? You won't. It will hurt.
Right.
And you will be what you would call devastated, what I would call upset. But you will deal with it. You're running from a monster that doesn't exist. And this is about you, not you. Stop reinforcing him. Answer the what-if question. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Well, it's Ask Dr. Phil today, and my next guest wanted to remain anonymous because of the sensitivity of her question, which I understand. And Donna, which is not your real name, so you can be completely honest. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Tell us your question, Donna.
I need to know when childhood sexual games with your brothers crosses the line and becomes incest. I'm 34 years old. I need to know if what I experienced as a child is normal.
Okay, let me go through some. I don't like some of these words in the same sentence. Childhood sexual games, at what point that becomes incest?
Yes.
Well, you're going to have to define the games. So what took place?
Okay, games is kind of the terms that my brothers used. My most vivid memory I have involves what they call the game of rape. I was like 10 or 11. My brothers were 15 and 16. One would hold me down, tie my hands, lay on top of me, and touch me. And I was instructed to pretend to resist. I also learned that they had drilled holes in my bedroom wall to watch me undress.
Okay, and is it my understanding that this happened when you were 10 or 11, they were 15 or 16, and you're in your 30s now?
Yeah,
And you brought this up recently, correct?
right.
So finally, after, what, 15 or more years, this was still bothering you, so you broached this subject with your mother?
Actually, my second husband did several years ago, and it caused a big rift in my family because they think I'm making mountains out of molehills, and that this is nothing more than innocent curiosity. But it's something that I still have shame and self-doubt about.
Okay, so your shame and self-doubt is about that you participated in it, or that you have a right to object to it after the fact?
Both.
Okay, well, let me just cover them in order then. First off, look, when you're 10 or 11 years old and you've got brothers or men, boys in any way that are 15 or 16 years old, that is a world of difference. They are past puberty. They've moved on to a whole nother area. And don't you even think for 1 minute about holding yourself responsible for one damn thing that happened between you and your brothers. Okay? First off, mark that off the list. You don't own that. That's not your responsibility. And there was nothing that you can be expected to do about that at that point in time. Okay? Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay, number two, do you have the right to raise this after the fact, to object to it after the fact, and should you feel shame because you've caused a rift in the family? Absolutely, unequivocally not. These are your feelings, and you have the right to those feelings. You have the right to voice those feelings, and what's more, you need to do whatever else you have to do to get closure on this. What they did was not okay. Drilling holes in your bedroom walls, tying you up and touching you and calling it a game is ridiculous and absurd and unacceptable, and you have every right to object to it.
I guess the next question is how to get past it, which is a whole other issue.
Well, of course it's a whole other issue, but the first step you have to do is give yourself permission to have the feelings.
Yeah.
If you're feeling guilty about having the feelings, then it's like I'm doing something wrong now.
Yeah.
And you're not doing something wrong now. What they did to you was wrong. You have the right to object to it, and you should object to it, and you need to do whatever you have to get closure on it. If just giving yourself permission to own the feelings is enough, then that's fine. If confronting your brothers is what you need to do, and I understand they don't want to talk to you now, and I wouldn't either if I was guilty of what they've been guilty of, I'd want it to go away too. Then write them a letter. Do whatever you have to, but don't you carry this as something that you've done wrong, because that would be a second miscarriage of justice, because you didn't do anything wrong to begin with, and you're entitled to your feelings now.
Thank you.
Will you really, really think and feel about that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Donna. Next, a single mom's dilemma. Should she abandon her son to find happiness in a bigger city? People are asking me anything and everything today, and here's a question I get all the time from single mothers.
I'm 31 years old, divorced, mother of a 5-year-old son.
Austin, what was the favorite thing at school today?
Austin's keeping me from taking chances.
Leave me alone.
I definitely feel like life is passing me by in a small town.
I love you. I love you too!
I'm just not happy. I've struggled with me leaving, taking him with me. When I do think of myself in the future, it's definitely by the ocean. I have moved 4 times in the past 4 years in the same city. I will continue to, tear out walls in my house, get plastic surgery or a tattoo until I really make that move. I feel like there's just not the opportunity here for me as a single professional person.
What'd you have for snack today?
I'm starting to lose interest in going out, and it's just become very apparent that the pool is limited. I'm begging for that one thing that will change the momentum of my life.
Can you hear me?
Dr. Phil, I'm ready to go and tackle the world. But I have a son here, and I am obligated to him. And so how do I achieve self-fulfillment and be a good parent at the same time?
So you're feeling pretty trapped.
I feel very trapped.
Okay. And where do you live?
Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Cedar Rapids. Do we have an affiliate in Cedar Rapids? Okay. Love Cedar Rapids. Okay. Just wanted to check before I said anything. Didn't want to be dogging on Cedar Rapids. All right. Now, why are you trapped there? What do you want and need that you think's not there?
I just feel very limited, both professionally and personally. You know, there just isn't the opportunity there in my career. And
What do you do?
I do web design and marketing.
Web design and marketing.
Yeah, it's not like the mecca for all that to be happening there.